Hey Raindrops, on today's episode of Reality with the King, it is Naked and Afraid, Dating Naked, or Naked Wasted Part 2. So we're going to discuss the most recent episode of the Real Housewives of Orange County, and she's back, my friend, who just celebrated her bachelorette party that we got to like at least get a little tea about that. But give it up. And before I introduce her, I want to thank the Raindrops for embracing her. The feedback has been wonderful. I've been getting stopped in the street saying like, we like your recaps with her. Like, keep it going. So as long as she says yes, I'm going to keep doing it. But give it up for my friend, the beautiful Alexis Bellino.
Hi, everybody. Oh my gosh, that was so sweet. I didn't know people are stopping you on the street. There was probably one person, okay?
No, it's like five, like five. They're like, no, they're just like, hey, we like your recap with Alexis. It's pretty fun, and it's interesting because I thank God you don't read comments, and thank God you're not on Twitter. But I will say the feedback on Twitter has also been fabulous. So my mistake, it wasn't the bachelorette party, it was a bridal shower that you recently celebrated. So how was that for you, baby doll?
It was good. It was, I mean, it wasn't good. It was amazing. And I'm doing everything unorthodox and very untraditional in this wedding. So that just shows you I wanted to put jewelry on my girls instead of have some caviar. So there you go. But yeah, it was great. Great. They had a blast. It was just unique because we all get to walk around. Of course, there was hors d'oeuvres and such, but it was like it's just you're just talking, getting pierced, getting a piece of permanent jewelry, getting a necklace. It was really cool. So
Yeah. So listen, you are celebrating a milestone, and this season of Orange County has had a good season. But before we recap the episode, I want to read you something because I'm pretty active on Twitter. I don't want you to be though, because sometimes people can just be mean for no reason. They've been mean to me, so I
well,
don't give a shit.
I have Twitter and I have a lot of followers, but I don't have enough time in the day. I feel like right now to get on it, and I should, I guess, now that you're telling me this. So I'm getting beat up. I mean, you can't get more beat up than on Instagram where I have to turn off comments, Carlos. So I'm. Oh really? Oh boy.
Well,
Okay.
look, I like to give props where props is due. So this tweet is from Casey, whose Twitter handle is at KBaby1234. He said, and I'm going to show you the proof, Alexis. He said, we was robbed of Gretchen and Alexis reuniting this season. Alexis deserved to come back. I don't give a fuck. RHOC, Bravo fumbled with this one. And the comments are in support of this. And I just wanted you to see the proof because I'm not a liar, Katie on fire. So I wanted you to
Wow.
see it. How do you
Okay.
feel that there has been this sort of like outpour of support for people wanting you to return this season now that we're like 6 episodes in?
I kind of feel like maybe people are seeing that it wasn't enough shown last season. There was so much shown of what there was not. It's not how I should say it is things were not shown that should have been shown, and it was just so focused, laser focused on the lawsuit and other things that I did get a little bit of a cheat in that I was cheated a little bit. However, it feels good, but I'm having more fun just recapping it all with you. High five on that.
High five on that. So listen, I'm just happy to be doing this with you. So let's get right into it. Um, you were crazy busy last weekend. I was too. We did not get to recap, but I feel like this recent episode is sort of like part two of last week's episode. So listen, Miss Thing, we're gonna dive right into this episode
Yes.
and dive right into it. I know you've seen the clip. We haven't saw the whole episode. Your friend who was at the bridal shower, Tamara Judge, my girl, she left the cast trip in New Orleans because Tamara Judge told Gretchen and Shannon that she was told by journalists that Katie told Kiki Monique that Gretchen told her, listen, the game of telephone, that
It
Gretchen
is.
told her that on the night of Naked and Wasted, exactly, like follow the
Okay.
lines and follow
We need
it.
to.
There you
We
go.
needed a roadmap, Carlos. We need a roadmap to show all of our raindrops exactly. Here's what we're talking about with the spider web thing going like that.
No,
Keep going. You
exactly,
got it. You
exactly.
got it, though. You got it. Keep
Okay.
going.
I'm trying, sister. Okay, so, okay. Follow along, raindrops. Tamara was told by bloggers slash journalists that Katie told Kiki Monique, a radio indie host, along with Dorinda Medley, that Gretchen told Katie that on the night of Naked and Wasted back in 2008, that she felt that Tamara roofied her. Gretchen visibly was upset, denied it, hugged Tamara, and then all of a sudden said, I think I believe Katie, that Katie didn't do it. The episode begins with Gina saying, look, I told Katie that I believe her, but why don't you just call Kiki Monique? And then before I get to the rest of the episode, what do you think about all of this? You know these girls more than I do. Does Alexis Bellino believe that Gretchen did tell Katie that she felt Tamara roofied her in 2008 on the night of the Naked and Wasted episode?
1,000,000% after watching the whole episode, because at first you kind of go, okay, well, is it a rumor or is it whatever? By the end of the episode, did everybody see what I saw? It's like both Katie and Gretchen got caught lying and saying one thing and then saying the other. And it's like if everybody just fesses up at the beginning, and I don't know what the, again, another stupid lie. First of all, Carlos, can I ask the most important question ever? Why are we rehashing something that happened 12 freaking years ago? It wasn't an affair with a husband. It was a stupid little drinking fest words. I don't think Tamara was correct in using that verbiage and making a joke about that. However, 12 years ago, Tamara's grown. She's grown up a little bit. Okay. What hasn't grown up is the fact that we're immature enough to still be bringing up these things. And by the way, Carlos, the one thing I want every viewer to think about is this. The only way Katie would even know about Naked Wasted or any kind of a roofie rumor would be how? How could it even be out there? And for Gretchen to get defensive, or for Gretchen to say no, but then say yes in the limo ride back with to Tamara and who was in the car with them? Tamara and Heather? Was it Tamara, Heather,
Yeah.
and Gretchen, when Gretchen was in the back seat and goes, I did. And then in her interview with, what was that look, by the way? I felt like it was a Stepford Wives cartoon look. However, she's beautiful. We all know she's beautiful, but come on now. We don't need a costume party on the confessionals. However, she should never have said in the back of the car, yeah, I went. And then in her confessional go, I never went. What are we talking? It's like, okay, was it alcohol? Like she had a cocktail, so then she was slippery mouth, or is it just lying and the girls don't remember their lies? What do you think about that? Because it baffles me. I'm like, I'm shocked at how the lies are just like coming around and around, and no one's learning from their mistake. It's like, hello, there's cameras there, people. There's cameras. You're gonna get caught in your lie.
Yeah, it's like, hello, this is what I've been saying since day one. And the reason why I love doing recaps with you is because I am a producer who has done many episodes of Housewives. You have been a housewife for so many years, and this is your world for sure. You and I both said from day one, like, look, there's something off about what Katie is saying. You defended her because she's your friend. You're like, look, I know Katie. I have to admit this happened, but I want to give her some grace. Katie then said, fuck you, Alexis. I think you're a liar. And you're like, okay, girl, I tried to at least give you some grace. So let's have a real conversation. I said from day one, I think Katie's a liar, pants on fire. The social media audience hates Tamara. I'll say this again. Katie Janella does not have fans. She has Tamara haters. If Tamara would have done 1% of what they're accusing Katie of, Tamara would get read on social media. Katie gets offended because they just hate Tamara. Sorry, guys, it is what it is. Furthermore, I said last week, Alexis, when Katie walked back in that room after talking to Matt, and she said, oh my God, what's going on? I said Katie read the script that Matt wrote as if he was Michael Patrick King, the creator of And Just Like That. It gave a Charlotte performance, going back telling Miranda and Carrie Bradshaw what happened. Katie was acting. I said too, and I love Gretchen. But one thing about my podcast, I'm going to call things out like I see it. I can still love you. I love Gretchen. I think she's a great housewife. I said Gretchen changed her tune once she called Slade. Slade said, "I'll fix this. I'm going to call Matt." I said this last week, Alexis, and I said that
You are so
they
right.
both conspired to tell this story, only for this episode for Katie to say, "Look, I gotta be honest. Slade called Matt. Slade said we gotta fix this, throw Tamara under the bus, and we conspired with each other to tell this story." And this is the problem when it comes to these reality shows. I agree with you. Why are we talking about something that happened in 2008? I don't give a shit, right? I love Gretchen. Gretchen, I love you down boots. I believe Gretchen did tell Katie the story.
So first of all, let me go back to the whole, like, the reason I was giving Katie so much accolades and just so much support on our first couple podcasts that we've done rehashing the show is because I had not yet been burned by Katie and lied about by Katie. So the problem is now once I see the true colors the other women are saying, and now you go back and recount everything everyone's saying, you have all the evidence of all of her lies that keep, and the problem is, Carlos, the number one problem, everything you said is correct, by the way, but the number one problem is Katie admitted that, okay, after saying no, none of that happened. Remember, they were at the first dinner. Okay, got it. It's the cobweb again. You got it. At the first dinner, Katie goes, that never happened. No, that never happened. Then she's talking to Matt, or then she admits that Gretchen did tell the story when they're at Mastro's. Then she's on the couch with Matt and asks Matt, guess who the true, really believing one that actually brings the truth to the forefront is Matt. Because then Katie goes, so Matt, do you remember when Slade said this? And he's like, oh yeah. And then Katie asks another question. He goes, well, you're not wrong. You aren't lying about hearing that. So it's all coming back to point the evidence that the story was told at dinner. So that's how Katie got the truth of, or the what Gretchen was putting out there. And then she goes and has a big mouth, obviously, and said something to Kiki Monique, just like she shows me the audio that she then wants to take back and said she didn't show me. Hello, I'm not going to lie about it, nor would I know everything that was said on that phone call if you hadn't let me listen to the whole minute and a half phone call, okay, or voice memo. So all of it's just like, I'm like, you know what the other funny thing is? Katie literally just got a taste of her own medicine because she's like feeling that about Gretchen, and Katie did the same thing to me. She's like, well, Gretchen and Jen aren't telling the truth. Why aren't they just fessing up to it? We were all at that dinner. Well, girlfriend, you were at the freaking lunch where you let me listen to the voice memo. So you're getting a taste of your own medicine because that's what karma does. It brings it right back around. But the whole thing is so frustrating because it's like, again, a stupid rumor. It's not like you're trying to protect your kids because you just had an affair with another man or woman. Stupid lie about naked, wasted, and whether or not Gretchen claimed Tamara roofied her or went to the hospital. Who cares? You're alive. You're kicking. You look great. Move on. You have got a kid now. Why are we talking about that? And why is Katie lying at the very beginning about going to Kiki Monique? Because the other point, Carlos, that everyone needs to consider, Kiki Monique is not about to worry about this little Orange County rumor that's going around Orange County about this. This is the least thing. It's like killing an ant in her house for her. She's like, oh, there's an ant squash. She does not care about this. Why is she going to lie and try to get in the middle of this when she's got way too much going on? And she wouldn't even have any idea of this if Katie had not gone to her and said something. So yeah.
No, listen, I feel your frustration, Alexis, because I can tell how frustrated you are. And I think us and the audience, we're sort of like, look, when we watch these shows, we want, obviously, like you said, we want the real, we want the funny, but we also want like some real life stuff that happens. I have always said this on my podcast that I got read for, and I don't give a shit because I don't do things for the popular opinion. There's alliances on these shows. And it's evident that there's an alliance between Gretchen, Jen, and Katie. And I'm gonna take you back a little bit. Towards the end of last season airing, okay,
Mhm.
there's a photo of Katie, Gretchen, and Jen hanging out, having dinner, and it could be the night of question at Mashville's in Newport Beach.
Mhm.
And it was sort of like introducing to the audience the possibility of Gretchen coming back to the show because they wanted
100%.
to. Thank you, Alexis. They wanted to showcase that we're friends in real life. Let's bring our friend back. It bothers me, and I'm gonna ask. Listen, you don't have to answer this because I don't want to put you on the spot, but I have to speak my truth.
Okay.
It bothers me that when you came on the show with something real. It wasn't like you and John were dating to piss off Shannon. You guys are literally getting married soon. You just celebrated your bridal shower, and the audience had a bad reaction to like leave Shannon alone, right? Which is fine. You have your fans. What bothers me is this: when we get something that's real and organic, you guys shun it. When we get something that is obviously lies and fake, you guys defend the liar. And I don't understand why some of you people gave Alexis a hard time for living out her reality, but you celebrate Katie, who has been proven week after week to be a liar. She denied that she told the blogger, this, only for the next fucking episode for her to say, okay, fine, I said it. Listen, you don't have to answer it, and that's fine. It infuriates me that this is going on. Does it bother you a sense that reality TV is no longer about the reality anymore?
Wow. I mean, that's so much emotion that just came through me and that on that whole like everything you just said. But I guess I think I've gotten such thick skin after how bad I was. It was like I murdered somebody's child last year. After dating somebody that broke up with the other woman a year and a half before. So I mean, I don't know. And by the way, John and I did try to fight it, and obviously it didn't work because here we are walking down the aisle soon. But um, it doesn't infuriate me because I feel like, and this is when our very first podcast, Carlos, I told you, I said, I missed the real of the show, but I get that the viewers like the fake of it, or like the more, these women would not act like this at a lunch if they were at their lunch with their neighbor next door. They act like this because there is a camera. We do have to, create good TV, yet we still are trying to be authentic, but we're just missing some of the real. And I wish that the audience last year would have given me a chance to actually, because it hadn't been so hated. There's a chance I might have been brought back for them to actually see the wedding planning, the true love between John and I, like my real life, and not just me being torn down for me having the boyfriend who's suing a woman for money she is owed. He is owed, I mean. So there was a lot to that. But no, I'm not infuriated. I just wish that people would put on their real thinking caps and go, this hasn't just happened once with Katie. That's the other part to this, is why is Katie not learning from that, to where it happened last season too, where she'd get caught in a lie and then she'd go, oh yes, I did do that. It's like, what is it in your mind where you don't just own up to it at the very beginning? What is it and you're not learning, don't touch the hot stove. You're still doing it over and over and over, because here we are on, the next season and she's still doing it. So is it a massive blip in her brain that she can't go, I'm going to get caught with this. Someone's going to find out, because the truth's going to come out. Just like Gina said in her confessional, the truth will be found out. Well, just like last year, the truth does get found out.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I want Katie to grow. I want Katie to grow.
I want Katie to go. I mean, listen, I think, and listen, I also gave Katie some grace. And I would love to have a conversation with Katie, because I want to help her understand the wrongdoing that she has done, and find a way to really, like you said, Alexis, to sort of like dig deep in terms of her psyche for why she's doing it. The reason why I said I want Katie to go is because, and listen, I'm not saying forever. I think Katie needs needs to go at least for a season or two because for me, it's not fair to the other women who are trying their best to just do their job. You are right. Let's have a real conversation. When you are on reality television, there is an extra level of that you give to the show, right? Because you're on camera. But when you befriend bloggers and when you're constantly caught lying, I now am on Gina's side when she said in an interview that if Katie comes back next season, she really has to consider her place on the show because I don't want anybody in my real life, in my real circle, who has a habit of just lying all of the time. And I don't think it's fair that any of these women have to be subjected to sitting at a dinner table trying to be real and honest with people. And you don't know what this woman, Katie, is capable of if she has to take that information before the season is even airing and talks to a blogger. I think Katie needs to be reprimanded for this, like other housewives were.
Maybe therapy, because honestly, like there is something amiss that you don't learn. I mean this truly. I'm not trying to bag on Katie because I do think she has, like I've said about her before, I think she has a big heart. I think she's a good person. I think she's funny. I love Matt. I think they're a cute couple. I just think that if you haven't learned, because like I think if she had done that one time and then been very remorseful, the women would have been able to have the conflict resolution, move past it, go on, right? That's the basis of the show. I think when it keeps happening, and now we've had 2 seasons of evidence of it, where she herself, not just evidence of the footage, but of the background of everything, but the footage of her actually saying, oh, I did actually do that. And now it happened again this episode. How many more times is it going to happen this episode or this season? I don't know. But it's like, if you don't learn, then that is where I agree with the other women. It's like, why would you want to, you can't trust anything she's saying because it's going to happen. She's going to do it again. And like Heather said at that dinner, she goes, Katie, you scare us because what's next? Like what's going to happen next? Because now she's lying about the blogger, Kiki Monique. And then she's also lying about, at first about Gretchen. And by the way, we found out why she was lying at first about Gretchen, because Slade had called Matt and said, Matt, please tell Katie to lie. This is what has to happen. We've got this group together. We're alliances. She needs to lie for Matt or for Gretchen. Katie felt that at first and then did it, knew she was caught, knew she can't get out of it. She's got to tell the truth. So then she tells the truth, but then no one believes her. No one's going to believe you now because she's lied about it. So,
yeah. No, I know. It takes my breath away. So I want to also mention this. Katie admitted in her confessionals, and raindrops, I want you guys to understand what this means. Okay. Katie in her confessionals, which Alexis can corroborate, you sometimes tape your confessionals during the season, or you sometimes tape your confessionals after the season has wrapped and the episodes are being edited. In real time, as they're taping the scenes, raindrops, we call that verite. In real time, as they're taping the scenes, Katie never admits on camera what Gretchen allegedly did. Katie said in her confessionals, whether it was taped during the season or once the season wrapped, she said that, okay, I want y'all to be very clear. So I'm not giving Katie no props for saying something in her confessional by herself with a green screen behind her and not in the faces of her alliance, okay? Katie said that Gretchen did say in front of her, Matt, and Jen, that that night of Naked Wasted, that she went to the hospital and they found drugs in her system. And she doesn't understand why Jen isn't corroborating with this story because that's what happened. I'm not giving Katie no props for that because you didn't say to the faces of these ladies. But I do want to ask you this.
Good point.
Do you think Jen is protecting Gretchen?
I mean, it's really hard to say no to that after watching this episode. I mean, I feel like you said, you prefaced the beginning of this podcast with me today that that people, there's alliances on the show. That is true. Where it gets dangerous is when your alliances involve lying, because the problem is, no matter how deep that alliance is, whether it's this year, next year, 12 years from now, the truth's going to come out. So it's like you can't form an alliance and go, like, let's just say, like, everyone knows Tamara and I are buddy. Okay, I still call her out on this podcast and say what she should or shouldn't do. By the way, my heart broke that nobody really wrapped around her when she's going through the hardest thing of her life, but yet everyone wraps around anyone else on the cast that gets, hurt or whatever. So that was really BS. But I also will call her out where she needs to be called out. However, where was I going with that? Now I lost it because I was starting to get worried about Tamara. But where was I going?
No, I was asking you, do you believe Jen is protecting Gretchen?
Yeah. Okay. So where I was going with that is, is that if you lie for it, like even if Tamara came to me and said, go on next episode or next time we film, we're going to dinner or we're going to play volleyball, let's just say, please, when they bring this up, lie about it and don't say it. And I'm going to go, no, Tamara, I can't do that because it's going to all come out. And then we're both going to look like idiots, like everyone's looking kind of now. And just wait, this is only the beginning. I think next episode is still going to have more coming, Carla. That's what I think. I don't know. But I was right about the Kiki thing. There's more footage. There's more proof. And by the way, why didn't Katie just call Kiki right then or text her or DM her or do something and get to the bottom of it right then? That is the best way that you can just squash any lie. You know why she didn't? She was lying.
Yeah.
Kiki Monique has no reason to lie on this show. Katie has proven it time and time again. She wants to lie constantly because she's got a little marble loose in her head and she needs to go see somebody and talk about why she can't just get the truth out at the beginning. What is muzzling her for the truth?
Okay, guys, some of you guys can see me because I'm gonna upload this on YouTube. Some of you, so listen, my listeners in your car, you can finish listening to this, but I implore you to go on my YouTube channel at @BigCarlosKing_ to watch this because I'm so animated. I'm uploading this on YouTube. And by the way, Alexis looks smoking hot today. She always does, but the lighting is lighting. Okay, look, I'm getting jitters as if I took my pre-workout drink because I have this.
We'll get to it.
I know it's going to sound bad, but I got to be honest. I have a little bit of disdain for some of the Housewives audience. A little bit of it. On social media, I'll say that much. Because they don't care about the truth. They care about their own alliance to their favorite reality star. So they do. Because when the truth is in front of them, they make excuses for their favorite person that they like in terms of the show. Instead of being like, you know what, I love you, but I can also tell you that you're wrong for this. So anyways, I said that to say, Alexis hit the nail on the head. Once again, they tell Katie on the spot, hey, if you didn't say it, call this person on the spot. When they asked her, hey, in episode 1, show us the DM. If you're telling the truth, show us the DM. She claimed she had bad Wi-Fi. In this episode, Jen says, if you're telling the truth, call Kiki Monique. Well, I'm not doing that. And Jen is like, let's call her. And she's like, no. And then they flash back to the car where she's like, well, if I call Kiki, she's just going to lie. What the fuck?
Okay. First of all, you're going to call someone a liar who has zero history of lying, and you have 45 just from last season to now, and you're going to call her a liar? Oh, heck. Kiki and Monique better show up at Katie's doorstep and say, girlfriend, you got problems putting my name out there like that. Poor Kiki is getting so much from this, and she probably doesn't want any of it.
Talk about being the elephant in the room.
I'll send her a little heart emoji on DM. I feel bad.
I know, and I've been on Reality Check that's hosted by Kiki Monique and Dorinda Medley. And look, Kiki is like so sweet. I'll say this much, Kiki, this is the best press in the world, only because you are literally the 8th housewife on this show. But once again, I just don't understand proof after proof after proof after proof that Katie is a known liar. And I think she's the one who needs to see Tamara's psychotherapist because I need to get down to the middle of what she's going through. But transitioning to Tamara, look, Tamara is this polarizing figure. In real life, she's a fun girl. I think Tamara also understands her assignment on the show and she gives great TV. I felt bad for Tamara this episode, and not because I know her, it's because I'm honest, right? I'm always honest when it comes to Tamara. I'm always like, Tamara, I love you, but I feel so bad for Tamara because now that the truth is out, and this is what I want people to understand. Tamara was accused of drugging somebody, which is a horrible accusation. Horrible. For all of you guys who hate Tamara, that's your prerogative. It's fine. Imagine someone lying on you again, because Tamara did her job by saying, Gretchen, this is what was said. Gretchen said, I never said that. Guys, Gretchen out of her own mouth said, I never said that, which means, guys, it wasn't true. Right? So Gretchen is saying, I didn't say it because it's not true. Right? Because if she would have thought Tamara roofied her, Gretchen would have said one or two things. Yes, I said it. I did feel that way. Or she would have said, I didn't say that to Katie, but I did feel that way. She cried. You're not going to hug the woman who you think drugged you. You're just not. You're not going to cry and hug the woman who you think drugged you. So imagine being Tamara in a room where all these women are now turning against you and saying, we think that Katie's coming true, and Tamara, you have a history of lying. And it's like, but wait a second. Whether or not Tamara is a villain, no one should be accused of being a drugger. Like, it's not okay. And Tamara tweeted Alexis last week that the reason why she looked off is because she did take Xanax and was drinking alcohol. So that's what she said.
She
In
said it in
this
the episode.
episode,
She said it in her confessional too. So she's
yeah,
not trying to hide it. Like,
yeah,
what's happened.
yeah. So she said that in this episode, she's speaking to her psychotherapist. And one thing she said that I was like, you know what? I'm glad she's being honest about how she's feeling, because sometimes reality stars want to play it tough. The one thing she said that I was like, okay, I love this scene is when she said, I want people to like me. I don't like it when people don't like me. And I'm like, that's the honesty that I appreciate, because being the villain on the show isn't easy. And although we all may have taken it, she was talking about the friend group, I also believe she's talking about the way the world views her. What did you think about that moment?
Well, I think a couple of things. I feel like the other part to this, which I'll get to your question, but I feel like the other part that killed me on this episode, no matter who it would have been, whether it was Tamara or Heather or Gina or Emily or whoever it was, I hate the fact that it didn't seem authentic from any of the women to actually think about what Tamara was going through in that was in real time, that they had just found out about Teddy, real time. And I was picking up pieces behind the scenes on the phone with Tamara all the time, just trying to get her to get the to even go film. I mean, it is a job, and you do have to do hair, you do have to do makeup. She is crying a lot. She is constantly wanting to be by Teddy's side. She had so much on her plate that was real life, that it kills me that none of the women look at that and go, wow, if that was my right hand girl, that I would not be in a great place either, like with Tamara. So that kills me. And then to add on top of that, the whole Tamara's being accused of something that's not true. The whole thing is just like, I don't know how any of those other 6 women or 7 women wouldn't go, let's wrap around her and just hold her, or just like go light on her this one episode, or set filming, or dinner or whatever. So that killed me. But what was your other part to that question? Because I wanted to get that out about.
Yeah, no, just about Teddy. The fact that, the fact that she admitted that she wants people, yes. She doesn't like that people don't like her. And I thought that that's real.
That's so vulnerable and real to say. And that is why therapy is working for her. And she is becoming more vulnerable, because she's opening in and tapping into that side of her that she's always put up a big wall about. And like, oh, I don't care. Everyone cares, Carlos. Last year, when I was getting all the hate and I acted like I murdered a child, it was the worst. You can ask anyone in my circle. I was never wanted to leave the house, didn't want to go out to dinners, didn't want to do anything except hibernate. I felt so horrible about how much people were misjudging me. And so no matter who you are, whether you're portrayed as the villain on the show or whether you're a great person, you don't have skin thick enough to just go, oh, it doesn't bother me. It does bother you. And you do have to learn to get thick skin and turn, your look the other way. But yeah, it's vulnerable, and it shows you that she's growing. So there you go.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's listen, this season is great and I love it. I agree with you, Alexis, that I think this is just a tip of the iceberg based on what's going on, because in next week's episode, they take a lie detector test. And listen, this is my opinion. I don't care to see that as I'm watching.
Why?
No. Meaning this. I love a Real Housewives show because it's funny. And yes, you get the arguments and all that stuff. So I'm not saying about finding out the truth. I understand that. What I'm saying is we have gone so far with these lies that this show has now become Diddley's Catch. You know, like it's now become an interrogation that's involving a lie detector test versus a show where it's like, let's call each other out. Like you said earlier, let me just be honest about, like, look, I said it, I fucked up, give me some grace. Instead of it's now so bad, and people don't trust each other so much on this show anymore that they now have to do a lie detector test. I just think how sad this has become. That's what I meant by that.
Well, okay, so we always talk real to each other, even if we don't agree. But I don't agree with you on this. I don't agree. Good. I'm so excited to see it, because here's the thing. And lie detector tests, by the way, aren't always true. I think we've all learned that if you watch Dateline. It's like, don't take one because they're not accurate, this and that. Well, I went on marriage boot camp with my mom. It was the year before she got really sick. So thank God I did it. And they gave us lie detector tests. And I passed mine with flying colors, but I was like, the whole time they're hooking you up, I'm like, I'm scared I'm going to get caught, I'm not lying, that they're going to think I'm lying because the lie detector test is going to say I'm lying. So what I love about this is I do know that they're authentic for some of it, because my mom's was real, and Cher and I talked about it afterwards. I was like, well, are you honest? Is that a true answer? And I think my answer was, do you resent your mom for the divorce and for, becoming from a broken home? And everyone would think I would say yes to that. I don't resent her for that. So I said no. And I thought it's going to show I do. But deep down in my gut and my heart, I never resented her for that. I understood why they got divorced once I grew up, right? When you're 12, you don't. But then, so the point I love about this is that these women are going to sit down now. Okay. Several of them are liars, or I should say a couple or a few. And I hope that we get to see that they are. Like, I hope. I don't know. I think it's going to be fascinating and even kind of funny in some ways. I just do. I mean, I know it sounds dark that, we've gone to lie detector test. What's next? We're going to, I don't know. I don't know what would be next, but to take their blood so we can watch for what murders someone else. I don't know.
No, I know. No, but listen, I understand your point of view too, in terms of, like, again, this season has been a big whodunit. It's a game of Clue. And now we're going to hopefully know the results of who's lying and not. And just so everybody understands, the lie detector test, which is known as a polygraph, is a pseudo-scientific device that measures and records several physiological indicators, such as blood pressure, pulse, respiration, and skin conductivity, while a person is asked and answers a series of questions. So these are all the factors that comes into, which is what Alexis said. Look, there is this sort of like myth that, look, is not the best in terms of resulting in facts. But in Alexis' case, she did hers with flying colors, and police officers and the court of law, they still do allow this to be evidence in a case when a case goes to trial. Excuse me. So look, we're going to find that out in next week's episode. But Alexis, Bellino, this season is now getting to the point of a big whodunit. And what I'm hoping by the end of it is
What?
the liars are revealed. The
Yeah.
liars are
But
revealed.
you made a very good point, and it's like the viewers, they might not even care. It's like they don't care who's actually telling the truth, or like in last season for me, like they don't care who really has the evidence and has the truth. They pity the person that they love the most, or they're. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm excited after last night's episode. I'm like, wow, this is. I mean, even though I literally had to rewind it a couple times because I'm like, okay, wait, what happened? Wait, I don't, because it was the cobweb that we need to make a sign next time, Carlos, and we'll have all the lines for the viewers so they can really follow the story. But anyway, let's see what's coming up. I'm excited.
We'll see what's coming up. But Alexis, Bellino, thank you so much for hopping on Reality with the King. And I will see
Yes.
you next week, my love.
Bye, everybody. Have a good week.
Bye
Weekend.
bye.